Last night at Newfields, we love Newfields, about a longtime IndyCar team owner and a former driver.
It's called Bobby Rahal, True American Racer. The documentary celebrated 40 years since he won the Indy 500 back in 1986. Bobby joins us now. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So a lot of people were there last night. Talk about the night. Did you get any sleep?
Well, it was not much. I got sleep, but the night went on a little bit after the event was over. But
I bet it did.
No, this was something that was started 3 years ago by Adam Carolla, the comedian and pundit, I guess you would call him also these days. And he has a production company that does documentaries, mainly centering around racing. And he called me up and they said, this is about 3 years ago, they said they wanted to do a documentary on me, which, I thought, I never imagined that, that would happen.
Of course.
And so we started, then it kind of went into a bit of a lull. And then Scott Borchetta from Nashville, who's a good longtime friend, he's the one who found Taylor Swift. He's in the record business. Anyway, he kind of got it re-energized, and so over the last year and a half, we kind of finished all the interviews, at least on my part. They'd interviewed about 30 other drivers and people in the industry. And so they actually had the first airing of it about 10 days ago, maybe. It was about a 40-minute show on Fox 1, Fox Sports 1, and then this showing, I had never seen much of the video that they showed towards the end of it, the last maybe 20 minutes. And then there's going to be another one that comes out, which is like 2 hours or something, that's going to be shown probably somewhere in California in August. So yeah, it's been a thrill. As I say, I never imagined people would be that interested. And but we had a good crowd last night. There was probably, 300-400 people there, and it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about that. Just the support from the community that came out, family, friends, fans, that wanted to come see and check it out. Just talk about the support.
Well, it was, so they had, they asked us for an invitation list, our racing company. So we invited friends out that we knew and people within the industry. But then they also sent out, they opened it up for general admission. And so we probably, I would bet there was 100 people that were just there as fans. And so it was great. Got to meet a lot of people and got to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while. And yeah, very flattering, a great honor, a lot of fun. And so far the comments have been pretty good. So
when you step back and reflect on your career in front of the big screen, what are the emotions? What are the thoughts that run through your head?
Well, when I first started racing, I never even thought I'd race. I'd drive. I started, and it was never a grand plan. It just kind of happened. There were a lot of ups and downs over the years. Then in 1982, Jim Truman, who started the Red Roof Inn hotel chain, he's the one who said, "Hey, I want to start an IndyCar team. I want you to drive the car." Blah, 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 and off we went, and 4 years later we win the Indy 500, and then regrettably or sadly, he passed away from cancer 10 days after we won the race.
So 17 seasons you did, is that right?
In IndyCar from 1982 to 1998, so yeah.
Long time.
And for the 500, 82 to 95, and because there was a split at that time, and so we missed out in the last 3 years of my career to race at Indy, but once again, never expected to have the success, never expected to actually do it, let alone have the success that we did.
How was the win, by the way, in 1986? How did that feel? I always like to know what's in your head. Does that still,
well,
do you still think about that when you watch the race?
Well, I can remember. If I want to remember it, I can remember it very easily.
I asked Johnny Rutherford the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said, does it feel like it was 40 years ago? And I said, well, some days it feels like it was yesterday, and some days it does feel like it was 40 years ago. 40 years is a long time, right? But I think the dynamics of the race that year with the health the poor health of my team owner, who was really the guy that gave me my shot. Yeah. And then to start off with him in IndyCar as a rookie in '82, and then, as I say, 4 years later, we win the 500, and then he passes away. It really was an unbelievable story, and a sad story in many respects. But you know, to win that race, to cross the finish line first, you know, my initial, you know, when you first cross the finish line, you don't quite know how to feel because there's so many emotions come over you.
Of course.
You know, you're happy, obviously, but you're relieved. You know, you're a great deal of satisfaction. But for us, you know, a lot of it was we knew that he was not going to be with us much longer. And here we we realized a dream for him, and that was pretty cool. That was
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Now, as this documentary continues to air throughout the week leading up to race day, and more fans continue to watch it, we're getting some video right now.
Yep.
What do you hope that viewers take away from this documentary?
Well, I think one of the main things that comes out, I think, is, you know, my early career, there were a lot of ups and downs, and I never gave up. There were times when you might want to, but, you know, you just kind of fight through them, and it was really all about. My success was based in many respects on the dedication and the determination and commitment and sacrifice that you're willing to make to get to where you want to go, and because it's not always easy. And I think that for anybody, you know, going through life, especially for young people, I think those are important traits to understand that you need to have, regardless of what you're doing.
When the going gets tough, keep going.
You gotta
right?
keep going.
Yeah.
Put your head
Pedal
down
to
and
the
keep
floor.
going. Yeah.
So you're
that's
still
right.
involved in racing, obviously, with your son, Graham.
Yep.
So that's fun to watch.
It depends.
That depends.
Yeah, it's you know, when it's your flesh and blood out there, right? It's you can't.
You just
and you're a
want so
parent.
much to do great.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. And he's had a pretty good start to the year this year, so you know he's got a bounce in his step that he hasn't had in a few years.
Good.
And I think us as a team, me as an owner and father.
And David Letterman, right?
Letterman.
You're buddies with David.
Yeah, he was in victory lane with Graham 2 weeks ago at the Grand Prix.
We were classmates.
Graham
we were
was.
both alums from Ball State.
Oh,
We
really?
were classmates. Yeah, we went there about the same time.
Yeah, I don't think so. But maybe Ball State. But no, it's been, you know, when you're having success, it's really fun. And,
It is.
And when you're not, it's just hard work to get there. And so it's great to see him having a pretty good year this year so far. And you know, there's a lot of season left.
There is.
And of course, the big ones this weekend. So
I always say when you have a bad day, tomorrow's a new one.
that's right. Hey,
Tomorrow's a new day.
That's right.
So yeah, you just got to keep that in mind, keep positive, keep pushing. Because when I talked to Johnny Rutherford, he was great, by the way, but he was in 25th place in one of the races, and he won it that year.
Right.
So
And
you don't know.
And you can win. I mean, the last 2 years I raced here at Indy, I finished third both years, and I qualified on the second weekend. In those days, that meant you were gridded towards the end of the field. And I think I was 29th and maybe 30th in both years, and ended up third. So
That's
you
fantastic.
can win from wherever.
Yep.
You know,
Just keep pushing.
Yeah.
I love asking all the drivers. It's just what makes Indy so special.
Well, I mean, Indy, as I found out, you never really know quite what it does to you, but for one thing, it just changes your life forever, personally and professionally. Yeah. And you know, I've won 3 IndyCar championships, and that's really hard to do. But I'm never introduced as a three-time champion. I'm always introduced as the Indy 500 champion. And oh, by the way, he won 3 IndyCar championships too. You know, that other little thing. But it's always about Indy. That's the World Series, the Super Bowl, the U.S. Open. You know, you name it, all rolled into one.
Yeah, bigger in size than all of them put into one.
Oh yeah.
Bobby, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Really
Yes,
appreciate it.
thank you. Such a pleasure. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hey.